Today we're going to be talking about how to do some soldering. Seen a lot of videos, guys going through and just kind of coming up with their own technique. I don't know if that's the way they were taught. In theory, yes, it would work. Is it the correct way? No, definitely not. So I see a lot of guys just sit there and have the wires, and they kind of do something like this, just join them together, or they'll fan them out, sit there and do one of these things, go like this, and then kind of, like, oh yeah, this will work and everything else. No, it's not the right way to do it. So we're just going to go ahead and salvage this. So grab and just twist, right? Something like that. At the other side, twist your wires, okay? We kind of got that one screwed up because we fanned it, but that's okay. So now, what we're going to do, just go ahead and set them in our little magnifying glass. That way you guys can kind of hopefully see a little bit better. So, we got that part. We got our soldering iron set up. First step, we must tin the wire, right? So we're just going to go ahead and put some flux. So we need to heat it up because it's cold in the garage today. Just kind of heat up the flux here for a second with our heat gun. Okay. You don't need much. That's way too much. Okay. It's probably a little bit, but that's okay. So our soldering iron is right about 786 degrees. All we need to do, take the tip of our iron, and all we need to do is just barely touch it, just a little bit, just like that. Okay. So now, come down here, heat rises, so you want to be underneath the wire. Just touch it to the wire. See that? It's starting to heat the wire up. And we get the transfer to the heat. Wipe off our tip. Wire number one. Same thing. Wire number two. Put them in there. Take our iron. Just apply a small bit. There we go. Same principle. Underneath the wire. Let's bend that a little bit better. Come on. goes. Wire's heating up. Just like that. All right. So now we have two ends. We've got to join them together. Typically what I like to do is I'll go ahead and snip these ends off, make them clean. Just like that. Okay, let's see, make sure we can see that. Okay, so now we have two soldered pieces of wire we need to join together. Okay. Oops. Get this guy positioned a little bit better, that way you guys can see. Okay. Another part of that is obviously you need your shrink wrap. So we'll go ahead and take this guy off, put him back here in the back. Okay. Our heat is still good. Just gotta dab the tip just a hair. Work from the bottom. Not the prettiest joint, but it definitely works. Okay. So solder it all the way around. Now what you could do, if this was going into, like say you're doing some sort of automotive repair, you know, I would typically take a file, kind of round this off a little bit, make sure you have no sharp edges, because you figure as that thing, you know, any vibrations over time, it'll actually cut through your heat tape or your heat shrink. So I mean, you could sit there and file this down, make sure it's nice and smooth, make sure you have no burrs. Same thing with the solder itself. You know, make sure that's nice and smooth all the way around. But for demonstration purposes only, we're just going to go ahead and put our heat shrink tube over this guy, like so. Take our heat gun. There you have it. I think it's pretty strong. Not coming apart. Obviously I could sit here and try to pull this thing apart and really put some weight behind it and everything else. But like I said, it's a very strong joint. and it works. So again, if you guys are doing something like this, trying to join this junk together, you know, you need to twist it or do whatever the heck you're trying to do here. It's not the right way to do it. Just take your time with it. This is Mark from Wrench Ops. See you guys later.